Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed my last couple videos of our vacation. We have been back for a little while now, and I have a project that I need to tackle. We've been in our house a little over a year, and I really hadn't had a chance to organize my kitchen. We lived a couple months without the kitchen being done, and when it finally was done, items were just thrown in to the cabinets with a little bit of intention, but over time things have been moved around and it really just isn't organized to my liking. So I'm going to do that today. I have a step-by-step process that I have come up with, and I am going to walk you through that. A shout out to my Aunt Carla because she gave me a few ideas, and I found a few things on Pinterest as well. So before we get started, I'm going to show you some of the items that I will be using to help organize my kitchen. The first item I'd like to show you is this wire shelf. It can be stacked up. As you can see, it says stackable. It has these legs that come out and they lock into place. So they both lock into place like this. You can set them into your cabinets, and as the picture shows here, you can put stuff on top of them and underneath. So this is going to help me utilize the space in my cabinets. Next I have these. Now these I found in the school supply section at Dollar Tree, but I will be using these under the sink for putting things like foil, plastic wrap, stuff like that, and then I have lots of items that need to go in these. So when you have all those little boxes or cleaning supplies or things that you need them to stay in place, these are great for that. Also at Dollar Tree, I found these plastic bins. They seem fairly sturdy compared to some of the other ones I looked at. I don't like the flimsy baskets. I have tried some of the flimsy thin baskets before, and when you go to pull them out of your cabinet, they just wobble and everything that's in them falls out. So these I will be using for some small items that I need to keep in place. Next I have these wire baskets. These I found an idea on Pinterest for. Someone had used these for produce or items that you just like to keep out on your counter to be able to just grab. And I thought these are nice because you can see what's in them, they'll be easy to clean, and they will keep my counters from getting cluttered. Let's hope. These baskets. I love these baskets. I already have some of these in my cabinets. I use them in my spice cabinet, and I have them in another cabinet that I keep my children's sports bottles in. These are great because they have just this little bit of a handle here. You can pull them in and out. They are quite sturdy. They're easy to keep clean. I love them. They're just deep enough to keep my spices in. They don't fall out and end up all over the cabinet. The other thing I found at Menards were these clear bins. These are a very hard plastic, and they have little feet on the bottom, keep them from sliding around. They say they're a drawer organizer, so I will be using these in some of my drawers for some utensils that I don't want to end up strewn about the drawer. I also have some larger bins similar to this that I will be using for my refrigerator. Now that will be a whole other video because that's just going to take some time and I can't fit that all into one video. And lastly, at Dollar Tree, I found these. They say stickers, but obviously they look like labels. And there are 40 in here, so that should be more than enough to label what is in my cabinets and in my fridge. And unfortunately, I have to reorganize my pantry. I know I had a pantry organization video before, and that was great. It worked out for the time, but I'm going to be revamping my organization of my kitchen, which will in turn mean I need to redo the pantry because some items that are in my cabinets will be moved to the pantry. So I bought 2 larger stackable shelves like the one I showed you to go into my pantry so I can utilize more of that vertical space in my pantry. So let's get started with this organization. The first step was to lay a sheet on the floor in my kitchen. Then I started by taking items that I had recently washed by hand and I started laying them on the sheet. I decided to lay the items in categories so as to start my organization process. This actually saved me some time. Then I began pulling things out of my cabinets and laid them on the sheet. It was at this point that I realized I needed to empty my dishwasher because I had a lot of items in there that have to go in the cabinets. After all the cabinets were emptied, I went through and cleaned each one. I also went through and cleaned out all the drawers as well. I wanted to make sure everything was nice and clean before I put all my items back in. After I was done cleaning, I needed a break. I was exhausted and a little warm. My son tried to cool me off. Okay, now that I've had a break and I've had some lunch, I've cleaned up from that, I wanted to show you that my husband placed this shelf in here to see how it fits because I messed up a little bit and I didn't measure the cabinets before I went looking for some of this stuff. I had an idea of what I needed, but I did not know what size these shelves would be at first. So anyway, the cardboard's still on it, but I'm going to do a little trial run before I record just to make sure stuff's going to fit the way I planned it. I have an idea in my head. I just want to make sure it works before I record it and show all of you. So I will be right back. So here's the stuff I took out of the cabinets. As you can see, it's somewhat organized into categories. The categories that work for my kitchen. There are a couple things still up on the counters. These I put up on the counters. I didn't want them to get all dirty on the floor because, as you can see, I ran out of room down there. I put knives up here because I was not about to have those on the floor with my dogs. I started putting some things in bins there, and then I'll finish putting stuff in the cabinets and show you in just a moment. Okay, I am almost done. My hair is a mess, but there is the light at the end of the tunnel. So after I cleaned out all the cabinets and I had everything organized the way I wanted it to in my categories, I started putting things back into the cabinets to see how they fit. Turns out I had more space than I thought because I got rid of a ton of stuff and reorganized it, and that made it so much better. So the things that I put into bins, I made labels for those bins with those labels I showed you, and then put those where I wanted them to go. Now I'm going to show you what I have so far. Where I put everything is pretty much where I'm going to need it for probably a long while. Okay, so my kitchen looks so good, y'all. It's never looked this good. But as you can see, I've got things put back in the cabinets. The bins are labeled, all except for that one because it's just some miscellaneous stuff. I could have labeled it miscellaneous, but I know exactly what's in there, and I'm really the only one that needs to know. So we have our cups all organized the way we need them. We used to have plates and bowls down here, and we had some to-go cups here, and then over in another cabinet we had our cups, and I'd rather have them all in one place. So as you can see, we have our to-go lids there, we have the shaker lids up there. I actually also put the shaker balls in there, and I did not label that, but my husband and I know, and we're the only one that uses those. So, and this shelf, this wire shelf worked out wonderfully. If you need to maximize your storage ability for cabinets, if you have very minimal cabinets in your home or apartment or wherever, these shelves are amazing. And I showed you that these lock into place. Menards, like $7. They're amazing, and they come in different sizes. Then I have this cabinet over here that I really didn't have a lot of stuff that needed to go in here, so it's just got our the kids' bags for lunches, which I don't know if we're going to be able to be using soon. And then my lunch bag will still fit in there. It's just being cleaned right now. And then we have our snack box that used to be on top of the fridge, and our toaster fits just nicely right there, right next to it, so we don't have to have it on the counter. Now we have our bananas right there on the counter. So, and I cleaned off the window ledge there. Just have like an old bottle and a fork that we found on our property. So that is it for now. So the last step is to go through and take photos of what you have in your cabinets. And then you will take those photos and print them out on a piece of paper, and you can put it right on the inside of your cabinet right here. I'm gonna go do that right now, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay guys, I am done. This was the last step. I printed out the pictures that I took of what was in the cabinet, and I taped them to the door of the corresponding cabinet. And this way, when everybody unloads the dishwasher, or after someone hand washes dishes even, everyone will know where stuff goes to keep the organization in place. I have them on all the cabinets that I have reorganized today, even on the one over here. And then they're on the lower cabinets as well. So there you have it, folks. That is my kitchen organization. If you have any questions or comments, feel free. Otherwise, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to watch more videos, subscribe and hit the notification bell to know when I post more videos. I'm off to cook my dinner. Y'all have a good day. Bye.